Run with the Bulls. Scott Comar, Gary Austin, is the general manager and vice president of Harold Ziegler Automotive Group in Grand Rapids. And I don't know, Scott, is that on your bucket list of things to do to run with the Bulls?
You know, Michael Patrick, being in the car business for the last year, that sounded pretty familiar. We've just been trying to stay out in front of it.
Yeah, you're hoping for a bull market, that's for sure, at least. But I suppose these days you're more interested in Italy than you are in Spain. After all, we heard this news that the Chrysler Group wants to create Fiat dealerships, 200 standalone Fiat dealerships in metropolitan areas in time for the December sale of the Fiat 500. What was your reaction to that news?
You know, it's going to be very interesting. They've been talking about that since they took over control of the company. So now that we're starting to see some more finalized plans coming together, you know, certainly there's going to be a demand, I think, for small cars. So it'll be interesting to see what the rest of the plans are other than just the Fiat 500.
The volumes they're predicting or projecting, in fact, for Fiat are small to begin with, are they not?
Yeah, they are small to begin with. The thing that we saw yesterday that we hadn't heard before is that they want standalone dealerships built for this Fiat. At first we had heard they're going to let us put them in the new stores, the new Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep stores, just kind of designate a spot in the showroom. But now what they're talking about is, you know, building a standalone facility. So there's got to be more to it than just the Fiat, I would think, the 500. If they're going to ask us to spend that kind of money. They
wouldn't have a dealership for just one vehicle, right?
Can't imagine. It'd have to be an awfully high-volume vehicle for that. So, you know, they've got Alfa Romeo in that portfolio and everything else. They haven't seen anything that says what they're going to do for sure, but you would think if they were going to ask you to build a building, there's got to be more on the horizon.
At the same time, I understand that Chrysler dealers are being asked to upgrade their facilities with new salons and new signs and electronic kiosks and all that sort of thing. That's right for Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge and Ram all under one roof.
They are. There's our store we just built in Granville's only 4.5 years old, and it's state of the art and everything. But they're coming through, and you know you've got new people running it, and especially with the Italians, they kind of have a different taste and decor, and it's classy. It's really cool the things we're seeing, but they certainly are looking for bright things in the future and want the stores upgraded. Do you like
Chrysler's chances?
You know, we really do. We've actually bought 2 more Chrysler stores within our group, so that makes 5 in the last year. And we really think that the things that Chrysler has come in are going to be very exciting. We just picked up the new 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokees last week, and if that's the first indicator. The quality of that vehicle is absolutely unbelievable. They've never built a car that's anywhere near as nice as that new Grand Cherokee is.
Fiat's got a long way to go to get on people's radar in the United States, though, doesn't it? I mean, if they're talking about having dealerships in place in time for Christmas, what about the awareness they're going to have to build? Because a lot of people don't even know what Fiat is, where it comes from, or what sort of vehicles they are. Isn't that true?
Oh, it's very true. I think a lot of people do know of Fiat. It stood for, Fix It Again, Tony. So not only do you have to make it on their radar, you're going to have to overcome some of the perceptions from when Fiat was here before.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck, and glad to hear that things are moving in the right direction at Chrysler, and let us know how we can help.
Well, absolutely. Let me know what your training schedule for running with the Bulls is going to be. That's got to be the hard part.
It's going to be a very short portion of the run, that's for sure. What did you drive to work today?
You know, I'm driving a 2010 Challenger SRT8, so having fun with that.
I bet. All right. No texting while driving, of course, now, right?
Can't do that. Just talk to you on the phone.
All right. Thank you very much, Scott Comar. Good to talk to you again. Happy 7th of July to the man who is the general manager and vice president of the Harold Ziegler Automotive Group. Gary Austin, any other news items? We have Senator Alan Cropsey with us from DeWitt, the Republican. They are out of session, and he's decided still to put a tie on and come into our Gillespie Group storefront studio. Thank you for that.
Hey, I had to dress up to come and see you, Michael Patrick. It's a beautiful day in Michigan today.
How are you spending? You know, I'd be curious to know because you don't have to campaign, right? You're a term limited, and you're out of session, and it's summertime. It's a beautiful time to be out, and here you are yet in a tie. How are you keeping busy?
Well, I spent the weekend in Virginia Beach visiting my first and only grandchild.
Oh, terrific.
So, we put on about 1,700 miles on the car this weekend. No, I'll be doing legislative work. I'm on the corrections budget, and I'm waiting to get what my numbers are going to be for my final numbers to say, okay, this is the target that we have to bring in our corrections budget. And then we enter into some very intensive negotiations at that point.
Speaking of intensity, we are now 27 days from the primary election, August 3rd, and the TV commercials are cranking up, and now we're seeing the Lansing Mayor Virg Bernero is urging Speaker of the House Andy Dillon to debate some more since he's out of session. And now we're going to see, are we not, this is where the rubber hits the road.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're going to find... it's a great time if you really want to spend time outside and in the sun or doing something else. Get away from the TV because the politicians are all asking for your vote. But at the same time, I think this is a monumental election. You know, we're going to be choosing a new governor. We're going to be choosing a new Senate. We're going to be choosing half the House will probably be up for. I mean, the whole House is up for election, but in play, there's going to be a lot of seats. In the primary elections, and we have a lot of congressional seats that are open. Obviously, Jason Allen, who's usually on with me, I talked to him yesterday, and he had something like 60 parades in that congressional seat, Bart Stupak's congressional seat, and he had a presence in 45 of them.
Wow!
And I was thinking, this is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
He called me up yesterday or the day before, and he was just. Talk about tired. He was tired.
I bet. And it was hot, too.
It was hot, and he had been out knocking on doors and stuff. So,
and then you look in West Michigan, you got 2 congressional seats open. That's a complete rarity.
Exactly.
The Vern Ehlers seat and the Pete Hoekstra seat.
That's right. So there's a lot of activity going on in the north and western part of the state of Michigan, no question about it.
Have you thought at all about what you're going to do after you're out of office?
No, well, I've thought about it, but we'll just see what happens with these elections and stuff. I really enjoy the Lansing area. This is a great area. Michael Patrick Shields is here, the Gillespie Group. We've got Michigan has a lot going for it. The central part of the state, I think, has a lot going for it. And, I plan on staying around. We'll find something to do.
Maybe that NBA career, finally, that you've been putting off.
Oh, that's right.
As tall as you are.
Maybe I can walk and chew gum at the same time. So.
LeBron James tomorrow night's going to decide and reveal. So maybe,
he's spending a full hour
to do
can you imagine? The unveiling of what his future is going to be.
And when you get your new gig, we'll do a whole hour on where you're going to go.
We'll do a whole hour.
That'll be great.
It might demand 5 minutes or so. But
Senator Alan Cropsey from DeWitt, the Republican, at 18 after the hour.